My name is Kris Blackmon, and I am coming to you from the Channel Partners Conference Expo here in Las Vegas, where this week we are gathered with OEMs, with partners, with emerging partners, analysts and industry experts to sit down and kind of talk about what's going on in this space. Here I am joined by executives from BullsEye Telecom. We have Brian Babich, our VP of Sales and Marketing. We have Laura Przemowski, right, say that 3 times real fast, who supports the channel in a management position. And then we have Mark Sondergaard, a national sales manager. So welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So, Mark, I'm going to go to you first.
Okay.
So talk to me a little bit. Your background in the channel is pretty extensive. Talk to me a little bit about that and the most kind of exciting trend that you see going on right now that's causing the most amount of change and energy.
Okay. Well, change in telecom is pretty much a standard. We're always doing something new, but I think in the last few years, seeing the changeover into the VoIP arena, we've been doing that for about 10 years. It's finally, I think, making some progress more than it was before. SD-WAN is one of the newer buzzwords, so that's finally taking off, I think, pretty well. We've been doing really well with that as a company, and part of that is, we're seeing this new 5G and a lot of IoT things at the show. It's nice that we're able to maybe start monetizing IoT through the SD-WAN platform that we haven't been able to do in the past. Everybody's talked about it, but really never knew how to monetize it. So I think we're finally getting to that point that we can do that. We're seeing a lot of good things that we can do. And we work in the multi-location, like restaurants and retail stores. So there's a lot of IoT devices at those places that we can now start working with.
You mentioned 5G, and it's one of those things that we hear a lot of excitement about. I mean, I have heard all kinds of conversations about this this week alone. So just in a few seconds, can you tell me what the kind of promise of that is and why it's so exciting?
I think we're at the beginning stages of that, like we were at the beginning stages of SD-WAN a few years ago. I think over the next few years it'll get more legs and start going. But just the speeds and the ability to do more over the network that you're not able to do today will be fantastic. We're kind of limited by speeds today, so.
Well, let's take it from a high level and bring it back down to BullsEye. So, Laura, I wanted to ask you to tell me a little bit about your channel support initiatives over at BullsEye. What is it that makes BullsEye so different?
So, our goal pretty much is very simple. We just want to deliver the most world-class partner support we can. We strive every day to be extremely responsive to our partners. We deliver, quality work every day, every time, and every interaction with our partners. We try to make that, a pleasant experience for them all.
So talk to me a little bit about that interaction with partners. You go out and talk to them about the challenges that they're facing and what they'd like to see from your program?
Sure. So they would come to us for pricing and proposals and contracts, and we work with them in any pre-sale activities and getting them to get that contract to the customer for signature.
Are you sensing any kind of changing conversations with partners around enablement and support and that kind of thing these days?
Yeah, there's definitely some technical type of questions where we would instantly get our engineering teams involved and get them what they need.
Great. And then I'm going to throw it to you, Brian. So I'm going to ask you something a little bit different. I want you to tell me how BullsEye is stereotyped in the space. What is the one thing that you're always trying to fight, the impression of the image?
Fight the impression of, I would say, if they know us, if they know BullsEye, they know we've been around, in fact, almost 20 years. But in fact, a lot of my meetings today with some partners we haven't seen in a long time, they say, we know you're one of the premier POTS aggregators, for analog lines and a broadband aggregator. What else is going on? And so they have it half right because we really have 4 pillars. It's the easiest way to describe what we're doing. And I should mention too that most know that we're focused in the multi-location space. So 2 of those 4 pillars are what I just mentioned. Well, the other 2 are SD-WAN, Mark touched on it a little bit, as well as our VoIP platform, which in fact I've been with the company now 13 years, and that's when we first got our BroadSoft platform. So we've been doing that, and so when we start to walk through what we're really doing today, their eyes light up and they realize that we do so much more. It's a lot stickier. We can fill the void of them having to sometimes just sell, for example. What I heard a lot today was they're going out and trying to sell hosted service to our market. Well, we can meet them where they're at and then grow them to that. So instead of having someone on the fence for a long time in their funnel, we can actually bring them on and then transition them under one roof. And it's a lot easier for the client to do that rather than just a big shift.
So it sounds like you've had a lot to talk to partners about at this conference.
We do,
fighting that impression. Tell me about some of the more interesting conversations that you've had or some of the more interesting sessions that you've seen.
Interesting. I would say just interesting is when we have those exact discussions with partners that I talked to 10 years ago, or they come back around for whatever reason now and we're talking about what we're doing, and the next thing you know, we're strategizing. We have our marketing team here, we're talking about that partner enablement that Laura mentioned with marketing and co-branding and how we can really dive in, and they never utilized us like that before. So that's where we roll our sleeves up. It's exciting to really get entrenched with partners and figure out that strategy. So.
Well, I can't wait to see what comes out of BullsEye. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Kris Blackmon at Channel Partners Conference Expo. Thanks for joining us.